Hi everyone, this is Jay, and I'm here with Van. And today we're going to talk about that very difficult subject that Christians are persecuted. Christians are persecuted. Now, as we've been talking about the Beatitudes, Jesus pronounces blessings on kingdom citizens that have certain character attributes, like blessed are the poor in spirit. Certain actions, blessed are the peacemakers. But as we go throughout this extended conversation, we're going to talk about how Jesus pronounces a blessing on those who are persecuted for their faith. And that is almost a state or a condition. But let's begin with this truth that God the Father is rejected. God the Father is rejected. On one level, it's odd to talk about God the Father as being opposed or persecuted because he's the creator. He doesn't have a body. Who can possibly resist the creator? And yet it's very apparent that we reject God's presence in our lives, and we are often very aggressive toward him. So, as an example, we read this in James 4:4.
You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world is hostility toward God? So whoever wants to be the friend of the world becomes the enemy of God.
So Van, take a moment and summarize the teaching from this passage, and if you're willing, give an example from your own life about how that used to characterize you.
It's important to understand what the world is here in this passage. The world is characterized as sinful humanity standing in rebellion against God. But it's even broader than that because the world has its own values and way of behaving. Now, in my own life, this was a great summary of who I was and my life before I became a Christian. Now, I grew up Catholic, so I believed in God, but in many ways I rejected him by aligning myself, my life, with the world in my thoughts, actions, and words.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we might not think of it that way. We're just doing our own thing, we think, but really it is hatred or hostility or aggression toward God. And not only prior to becoming Christians do we relate to God that way, but we often oppose God's people and the things that they stand for as well. God help us.